The baby boy I gave birth to was not only old and ugly. He looks exactly like his father-in-law in the morning market. Not only that, the mother-in-law never allows the sows to get too close. I often carry it back to the house to breastfeed myself. At night I see my sleeping son. The old lady in the dragon turns over and punches the back. I asked my husband nervously. Has our dad always had a bad lumbar disc? Yeah, lumbar disc herniation. If you don't take the starting road, you have to turn your hands and beat your back. When we got married. My dad has been gone for more than 10 years. How do you know that? Facing her husband's rhetorical question, I don't know what to say. Because I have an incredible guess. I suspect that I am not giving birth to my own son. It's my public Lexus symbol. This baby's face. It's too similar to the dead public. And this kid. A lot of it seems adult to me. Like what? A little bit lewd and desiring. This is especially true during breastfeeding. But how is that possible? How could my son be my father-in-law? He never turns around, reborn into my belly. I heard it from my mother-in-law. Go to sleep. Look at you sleepy. Husband turned over and was just about to go to bed. I didn't expect my son to cry out. Are you hungry? Husband, go make a bottle of milk powder. I put my arms around the baby boy, gently shaking the body of my son's strong man. The black face is also covered with the old man. So weird. This old face looks so much like my father-in-law. I just held my child in my arms. I found that he stopped crying, just starting to build up. Keep rubbing against my chest. And a little smug looking at me. I shivered. Quickly pull the child away. Husband, go make milk powder. I overturned the river for you. If it weren't for the sanity, I'm afraid I've instinctively thrown the child out. Husband heard my cry. Dazed out of bed. But when he came back with the bottle, the son looked at the bottle and howled and cried. Son, do you want mom to feed you? Is your wife working hard? The child must be breastfed. Husband has to go to work tomorrow. Need to go to bed early. I can't say. I think my son is too much like my father-in-law, so I can't breastfeed. This kind of heretical weirdness. Nothing but the same as before. Do more psychological construction. Grate your teeth and hypnotize yourself. This milk is also fed. The son can't seem to wait. Straight into my arms. I was taken aback. Panicked. Instinctively scream. It scared the husband awake. He watched me lose my temper. I hurriedly want to take the child away, when the scene is chaotic. You're going to be rich when you click on this video. Whether it's providence or wishful thinking, it means your luck is coming. Leave a message that everything went well. You will be rich in the new year. Good luck. The door slammed open. Granny stood on the side of the door looking at us. Primary anger. Xiao Tangyuan is hungry. Refused to drink milk powder. Xiao Tangyuan, come here. Grandma feeds you. The tone of the mother-in-law is extremely fierce. But I don't know why. The child just listens to him. Granny hands. He took the child back to his bedroom. I went to the toilet in the middle of the night and passed by the door of my mother-in-law's bedroom. Saw the door open. I subconsciously glanced at you. This made me break out in a cold sweat. Granny's age. It's impossible to produce food for children. The shriveled, sagging grain bag. If not for feeding me. That fierce mother-in-law. What are you doing with my child right now? The next morning, as the family gathered around for breakfast, I looked at the mother-in-law holding the baby. Do you want to find a wife? Then you have to ask Xiao Tangyuan if he agrees to call Tangyuan. Do you agree with Uncle Me to find a wife? Son crouched in his arms. It's kind of dull. A slap on the mother-in-law's mouth. The mother-in-law immediately smiled. Uncle Min is not looking for a wife. Only be with Xiao Tangyuan forever. I looked at my mother-in-law and my son. My head is a little confused. I always feel like this scene in front of me. Unspeakably weird. I didn't expect the next second. Son's black and fat hands grabbed the mother-in-law's mouth. Then pull up and down. She controlled her mother-in-law's robotic arm and nodded. Is your grandson making you nod? I want you to find a wife. Xiao Tangyuan, how amazing are you? I know what nodding means. How old are you? Unlike the overall joyous atmosphere, Granny's face is drooping. The corners of his mouth almost hang to the ground. He's like a pissed-off little woman. Flip tears. Then he angrily shoved the child into my arms, slammed the door and went back to the house. See mother-in-law angry. Husband let out a long sigh. She quickly followed him into the house, coaxed for a long time. Send the child in again. What are you talking about finding a wife? My mom and my dad are very close. It's not that you don't know. I can't get angry. Drag your husband away. Told him everything I saw yesterday. The more I talk, the more aggrieved I become. In the future, I will feel that my son is like a father-in-law. I told him I couldn't breastfeed at all. Honey, let me ask you something. Don't be afraid. Did you have it when you were pregnant? Did you see anything strange? Like a cat without a skin or something? Cat without skin. What does that mean? But before I could answer, he quickly shook his head. And then you comfort yourself. What's going on in your mouth? Gone inexplicably. This thing went over in a hurry. No one talks about getting my mother-in-law to remarry anymore. But that day, my husband's strange question has always haunted me. The head soon arrived at the children's 100-day feast. Xiao Tangyuan is here to catch the dove. I try to speak softly. Look at the old child in my arms. And I put him on this big round table. A group of aunts gathered around the table, looking expectantly at the baby boy on the table. At this moment, the sister beckons to her son. Guide him towards the ingot. Auntie's gold ingot. Make big money later. The child's head is raised, smiling darkly, under the guidance of my sister waving. He rushed over and lifted his sister's skirt. Got under his skirt. Sister screaming. It was chaos. I kept apologizing to my sister during lunch. My sister didn't feel anything. She usually learned some metaphysics. Said to have worshipped a master. But I haven't seen it either. Idle. Start batching 8 characters for Xiao Tangyuan. After counting, she started to get confused. Sister. Did your son give these 8 characters, right? Doesn't seem right. No matter how inaccurate. It shouldn't look like this. My little nephew should be quite white and tender. The speaker is not interested, the listener is intentional. I heard 2 sentences. Suddenly, I feel my hair stand up. I looked around the table. I saw that my mother-in-law, husband and children were far away. That's my relief. Sister, do you know? What about skinned cats? Do you feel? Xiao Tangyuan is very similar to his grandfather. It's too much, sister. You don't suspect that the child has been replaced, do you? Is that possible? The baby was still born from my belly. But the soul belongs to another person. Sister, when you are pregnant, is there a strange box under the bed? When you were pregnant, has your public grave been passive? Yes, sister. I can help you with that, but you have to distance yourself from this family first. You want me to go back to my mother's house. Divorce never happened again. Otherwise, you will die suddenly within 7 days. They are Tanuki Sicko. I didn't want you to live at all. Tanuki Izuko is an evil secretary. Legend has it that skinned Tanuki cats are placed under pregnant women. Add a mantra. You can confuse the reincarnated child. Finally trapped in a Tanuki. The baby in the pregnant woman's belly becomes an empty fetus. Cite the ashes. Introduce the ghost into it. Can be quickly reincarnated into an eagle. This ghost eagle was also born. Always suck the essence of the mother. If the mother does not stay away in time, the child is 107 days old. The mother will be exhausted and die. So Xiao Tangyuan is really my public Lin Jibiao.